You've probably heard me say this in one of my other videos that when we were doing 4PP, we always saw ourselves as video game journalists, or I guess critics. And after doing 4PP for 4 or 5 years, um, I noticed something that was going on in me, and I want to say us too, because in all of us, um, it's one of those things where when you're making content, your goal is kind of to become more popular, to make more. You want more people to see your work, right? That's obviously should be one of your goals, I guess, right? Because nobody wants to make stuff for nobody. But as you start trying to gain more viewers or get more popular, you notice that you start sometimes you'll start following trends. You'll see other people doing stuff. You'll think of like a great idea. And I noticed that for me, I was getting a lot more angry or frustrated. And just to put it plainly, I wasn't really having a good time. And I wasn't happy. And I think there were people who like felt it that way too. They felt like, oh shit, well, why is David always so angry? Why is he always upset? And it's true. I'll admit to it. There was a time when I wasn't upset. And even worse off, I think when I saw people excited and happy, it made me more upset because I'm like, what does that guy have to be happy about? So that's one of the honest reasons why I was okay leaving 4PP, because I didn't want to be unhappy. I can go into this maybe in another time, another video, but I knew that if I stayed around, I was just going to frustrate myself and be upset, and then possibly take it out on other people. And, it's a shitty thing. We don't try to take it out on people, but it's a byproduct, man. If you're in a bad mood, people around you are just going to be, in the wake of your bad moodness or your anger. So it's not that I was trying to purposely be an asshole to people, but it was one of those things where I recognized, like, I don't want to be like that, so I want to remove myself from the situation. And then, now that I've had time away, I really started to enjoy games again. And I started enjoying games, and I played games strictly not because I needed a broadcast, or not because I was trying to do a show, or not because I had a deadline. But I did that stuff because I wanted to. I wanted to play games because I enjoyed them. And that was such a refreshing, great feeling for me. Yeah. And I think I still want to play games. And I still maybe even, if possible, want to play games professionally. But I'll tell you how I'm different now in a way that makes me feel like I can handle it this time around. I've told Nick this before. You can ask him. I've called him up just randomly. I've probably said it to him on 2 or 3 occasions. Most memorably after The Order 1886, because I remember a lot of people were crapping on that game and not enjoying it. But I knew Nick would, because Nick's that kind of guy. He just enjoys everything. But yeah, I took a page from Nick's book. It's not that I don't dislike games, or I mean, it's not that I don't have problems with games, and I have flaws, but I really want to remove the heavy critic part of content making and video game making. That's fine. If there's a game you don't like, you have heavy criticisms, that's fine. But I don't think that should be the focus of you making content. This goes out to all these YouTubers making reviews, making videos. I think it's a huge misunderstanding to want to make video. Like, making fun of stuff is a quick way, an easy way to get views, right? Because everybody, it's this whole like bandwagon effect, right? Whenever I see a game come out and it's not doing that well, or it's getting criticized, one or two major outlets pan the game, and everybody loves to pile on because everybody likes to feel like they're on the same boat. Like, we got the same idea. Like, yeah, Konami sucks. Fuck Konami, right? Fuck Nintendo. Nintendo sucks. They can't believe they're charging X amount of dollars for this. And it's a very scary phenomenon that happens. And after seeing it happen, and it's a trend. I mean, it's a cycle. You always see it happen again, happen again. Next year there'll be another something happens, and everybody will be shitting on it again. And I think that's the wrong way to go about making content about video games, about anything really. To be honest, what I watched Ratatouille a long time ago. A long time ago. I watched it probably in the theaters. Oh, I watched it in the theaters in Japan. And I really liked the movie. And the ending scene is still one of my favorite ending scenes. You know, I didn't have the exact same thing like my mom. I don't remember like the home cooked meals like my mom made. She did definitely make them, but I never. They were all Chinese food, very Asian in flavor. So I always never had that moment like, oh, that one dish. I remember my mom used to make it. I mean, yeah, she used to make me like grilled cheese sandwiches sometimes. That was really nice, but she doesn't do that anymore. But yeah, I had a great relationship with my mom, so when that ending scene played, I immediately knew exactly like, oh my gosh, yes, what a great feeling, what a great memory. I may have even teared up in the theater, and every time I watch it, if as long as I'm not casually watching it, I'll get emotional, and if you listen to Ego's review, you have to go back and listen to Ego's review. Listen to what he says. I want to read it word for word, but I don't think that has the same impact. Like, I typed out all of his entire dialogue, and it's great, man. It's absolutely great, and it's something that I'm going to use. This is pretty much how I'm going to follow my video game content, or the reviews that I make, the game reviews that I make. You know, everything is that instead of spending all this time talking about the shit that sucks, the stuff that plays bad, the flaws that a game have. Yes, if we want to sit there and point out all the flaws, every game has flaws. Every game has problems. Every game has reasons why it's not that good, or it's not as good as it could be. But why not spend the time talking about the things that are great about a game? Heavy Rain, flawed experience. Sure, a lot of things they could have changed. But you know what? There's some great, memorable experience moments from Heavy Rain that I will never forget. And I will always, remember. And that's kind of what I want to find out of every game. I want to find the reason to like it, and the reason to play it, and the reason to recommend it. Maybe it's not for everybody, but you know what? If you're into this kind of stuff, bam, this game's for you. Man, I just go listen to it. I'll stick the Ego review at the end of this, and I'll type out the words itself. Man, I can't do it any better. I wanted to reread it, but I would just sound off coming like a huge horse's ass rereading somebody else's words. So listen to it for yourself. Really take in the words, man, and just know that this is how I want to be. This is how I want to make content, and I hope other people want to make content like this too, because this is what is needed right now. Thanks for listening.
In many ways, the work of a critic is easy. We risk very little, yet enjoy a position over those who offer up their work and themselves to our judgment. We thrive on negative criticism, which is fun to write and to read. But the bitter truth we critics must face is that in the grand scheme of things, the average piece of junk is probably more meaningful than our criticism designating it so. But there are times when a critic truly risks something, and that is in the discovery and defense of the new. The world is often unkind to new talent, new creations. The new needs friends.